A massive thank you to Elias, Robert, the Prime Guardian, Bombster, and La Parole for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone, and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 10 of our F1 22 My Team Career Mode. Yesterday, we've officially caught up with real life Formula 1. If you missed out on the video that went live yesterday from the, where were we back yesterday? That worries me that I've already forgot where we've raced at. Of course, it was Canada. For round 9 of the year, would definitely recommend going back and checking that video out. Of course, there will be spoilers in just a moment. But quickly, though, a massive thank you to all of you guys as well for the insane continued support on F1 22. You know, if you're new around here and you're not already, please do consider giving us a subscribe button. And, of course, yeah, helping us get one step closer to 70,000 subscribers. Of course, trying to hit 100k by the end of the year. So, yeah, every little bit helps us get towards that milestone. But championship-wise, then, as we head towards this weekend there, Charles Leclerc still leads the way. The gap opening up to 30 points ahead of his teammate Carlos Sainz once again. We're still now down in P19 overall in the Drivers' Championship there. Still with just that one solitary point keeping us ahead of Williams in the Constructors. But plenty of upgrades still in the works with the team at the moment there. 4 upgrades should bring us back ahead of Aston Martin and Williams when they all go on the car. But yeah, struggling just to get the R&D used at the moment and trying to get those upgrades on as well. Might need to try and go for another facility upgrade this weekend. I don't think I can really afford anything on the powertrain side of things. We could go... I don't really want to do anything with our second driver at the moment. I think we'll go with a quality control upgrade then on the chassis side for 1.2 million. And yeah, I think we've got another Pirelli Hotlap though before we get into the British Grand Prix this weekend. Let's get into it then. Our home race, the team's home race. Not, of course, Felipe Drugovich. That'll come later on in the year. But yeah, back at Silverstone though, the home of Formula 1. Fingers crossed we can have a good race out. Right, well, here we are then, back at Silverstone in the Aston Martin Vantage F1 edition here. 104.5 miles an hour as we're going to try and navigate the tricky old turn 1 of Cops. But fingers crossed we can try and get a nice tidy run on our first attempt here. Like I said, 104 miles an hour. Actually quite a hard target there, as I'm guessing we're going to have to try and get through Maggots and Beckett's as well. As that immediately is not the way to start. Oh, I think we do that every time in these challenges. I try to use an F1 braking point. Anyway, let's get into attempt 2 then, and really try and get the gold. Yes! Oh! By 0.1 mile an hour there, we just about clutch up in the Silverstone Speed Zone event. That's going to be the gold score. And luckily now it means we can just go straight like this for the other 2 attempts here. May as well go straight off circuit. We've already done everything we need to. And that'll get rid of the other 2 attempts. Let's get then into practice here for the British Grand Prix. Right, well, heading out then for free practice here from the British Grand Prix. What a really good solid weekend at our home venue. So going to try and just put that little bit of extra effort in to achieving all the practice programs. Not convinced this track's going to suit our car particularly though. Of course, very, very much power-orientated circuit, Silverstone. But yeah, you know, if we run low enough wings, try and hang on through the corners, maybe we can still get something at this event. Really have fallen in love with Silverstone with these newer modern Formula 1 cars. But at the final corner, ERS test. That's going to be a purple score. Brilliant way to kickstart the weekend. Thank you very much, Latifi. Gets out of the way of me as we head around our first lap of the race simulation run. They're still trying to hang on through the old turn 1. Luckily, of course, we found out in yesterday's British Grand Prix last question mark challenges George Russell. If you missed out on that one, I definitely recommend going back and checking it out there. But yeah, luckily, seems like the air have been patched through the old turn 1. So Silverstone and of course Austria next time out, hopefully going to be a lot better for us in this game now as we head down in towards the final couple of turns. Their first lap on the race sim run, very much up in the green. It's exactly what we need early on this weekend. Fingers crossed the next 2 laps will be exactly the same. I mean, if the rest of the weekend goes as smoothly as this race simulation run, I know it's very early doors, I'd walk away from Silverstone a very happy man. There is all 3 laps going to be well over a second clear of the Delta. That's going to be another purple. Let's get into our quali sim run. And as we come towards the end then of my qualifying simulation run, this might be the first purple score we've had in this session on F1 22. They're running a little bit wide down in towards the final chicane. Can we just keep it clean and tidy here? Look at this, right up towards the top of the chart. Try and put the power down out the final turn. That should be a purple score there. Perfect practice. Can we maintain this as we get into qualifying? So far this weekend, I'm getting a bit hyped up. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, the choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like. Got a little bit more overcast than on the Saturday here from Silverstone, but feeling really confident heading into this. Hopefully it wasn't just the Deltas being way too slow in free practice. I don't want to get here and then still qualify on the back row or something like that. I mean, if we can make it through to Q2, I'd be incredibly happy. But even if we just sort of end up 17th, 18th there, depending on obviously the time that Drogovic does, I'm sure we could walk away feeling like we can get something out of the Grand Prix there. But down through the first couple of turns then, of course, Silverstone's such a fun track to try and get the lap hooked up on. And I'm sure we'll look back in months' time when we've got a maxed out car here on F1 22. And remember these days where we were struggling to try and drag the car along. But yeah, fingers crossed today we can get a good lap in. Latifi sets the benchmark on a 30.9. I don't think that's going to stay as the benchmark for very long. There's immediately an AlphaTauri coming through. Surely they'll go quicker. Yep, Sonoda only by 4/10 though, so maybe Latifi's lap wasn't as bad as I originally thought. Put Lance Stroll and the Aston Martin down on 29.6, so times are definitely improving then early on here in qualifying, as we said a 1:04.7 at the end of Sector 2. I mean, if we're around the 90-second mark, I suppose we could walk away happy with that one. As there we go, Albon, 28.8 there, so we definitely don't want to be on the 90-second mark. Everyone getting much quicker early on in qualifying. Is this about to be a wake-up call for us as we head through the final chicane there? What time are we going to do? Lando Norris 28.1. We set a 29 flat there, so actually pretty competitive. I'll take that. Starting my second run then in Q1. Currently very close to the drop zone down in P15 there, but only a couple of tenths away from Alex Albon, who's up in P13 then. That probably should be the benchmark on this second run. I just want to see if we can find any more time. Only 6 minutes left on the clock though, so if this lap isn't improving by much, might have to abandon it and go for one last ditch attempt. As out of the loop, pretty much even so far. The first lap felt pretty good, but there's always a little bit more time to find. There's about a tenth up then as we head down in towards the final sector of the lap. I think we've just got to keep this lap going. It's been pretty tidy for the most part as we head down through the end of the hangar straight there. Oh, we've just lost too much time. I'm going to bail out. We're going to go for one last ditch attempt here in qualifying as we get a warning for pit lane speeding there, but only a 10th improvement. I don't think would have been good enough to see us into Q2 comfortably. We're not going to have enough time to do a final run here in Q1. How have we not got enough time? Please say we make it through. 16th. Okay. I was going to be so annoyed then if we didn't get through into Q2 there. But it is just enough then. We don't need that extra 10th. We're through into Q2 for the British Grand Prix by, what, it must be the slimmest of margins there. Both Albon and myself sneaking through. And we go through by 26 thousandths of a second over Lance Stroll there. Both Haas cars out in Q1. I'm sure they're gutted with that. It's Drogovic a long way off the pace there on a 30.5. Must have had some issues in qualifying, but we've got one new clean set ready for Q2. Can we try and bolster ourselves up the order? Might be able to get, around the Alfa Romeos here. I'm feeling confident. It does feel incredibly good to finally be back in Q2 here at the British Grand Prix, especially there. But slowest person so far is Pierre Gasly on a 128.7, so we are going to need a big improvement over my Q1 run if we want to try and make it at least higher than P16 here. Could we be on for one good qualifying session here? Probably the first one I felt truly competitive with the midfield since Jeddah way back at the start of the year there. But through the first chicane we go, all nice and tidy. Late on the brakes as we head into the loop there to try and get the car over to the right hand side. Swing it through, left-hander next up, second gear on the way through, fourth gear on the exit as you try to roll on the power out onto the Wellington straight there. Use all the curves, scrub off as little speed as you possibly can as you hang the car over on the right hand side. They're braking just at the 50-metre mark for the next corner there. Don't quite connect up with the apex on the inside. They're a little bit of a wobble as the rear end struggles to find grip as we head now out down the old turn one then. Next up, as we head along the old start finish straight here, home crowd cheering us on as we head back down towards the old turn one, down one gear, turning at the 50, and that's the line you need through there. Back into 8th gear on the exit, and now you hold your breath as you head in through Maggotts and Beckett's. No downshifts through the first part, 2 through the second, and then another one through the third there as you try and get as close on the power as you can there. Rally cross out onto the back straightaway. That was definitely not the run we needed. We're going to have grass on the tyres as we head down in towards the final corner there. That was very ragged, but going to try and keep our foot in. Now going to have to face the understeer though at the end of the back straight. Few more corners to go though. Try and get the car square and braking down. Second gear through the first part there. Back up the third and fourth through the second. Up towards the line though. Has that mistake cost me right at the end of qualifying? Yes, it's only P15. And there we go then, having a look at our final Q2 results there. Was never going to make it into Q3, but happy that the pace we had in practice was somewhat still reminiscent in qualifying there. Feel like if we nailed the lap, we could have been around Zhou Guanyu, Alex Albon pace there as Ricciardo. Clearly more issues. I mean, he didn't get a run in Q2 there. But yeah, starting P15 for the British Grand Prix. I think we're going to need a miracle today if we want to score some points. But hopefully we can have a good race out. Enjoy it here at Silverstone with our home crowd behind us. Let's get into it then, the British Grand Prix. This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
We return once again then to the home of British motorsport and the birthplace of the Formula 1 World Championship. It's race day here at Silverstone and it's time for the British Grand Prix. Silverstone circuit then is 3.6 miles long, has a total of 18 corners, and of course is no stranger to the rain. There won't be any DRS available in these conditions, but the Wellington and Hangar straights are still good opportunities to tuck into the slipstream and make a pass. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Perez, Bottas, Norris, Fernando Alonso, and Esteban Ocon, Vettel, Albon, Guan Yu Zhou, Mr. Monaco, Ricciardo, Stroll, Kevin Magnussen, and Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Latifi, Drugovich, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once more by Anthony Davidson. Let's discuss Red Bull. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
I know this is your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Let's not make any unnecessary risks.
It's a fair statement from Mark here, but ready then back at home for the British Grand Prix. Round 10 of the year here, almost at the halfway stage of this campaign already, and you can just see, meant to have a bit of rain early on, but then meant to dry up pretty quickly as the race progresses here. So hopefully, you know, we're only going to need the one set of inters at the start, but often we've struggled during changeable conditions here early on F1 22. Let's get into it then. Here at Silverstone, starting P14 by virtue of a Pierre Gasly penalty. But fingers crossed there as we've got Charles Leclerc leading the way once more. Are we going to see yet another Ferrari race victory here? Still yet to see anyone else in the My Team career mode get a win. Of course, yeah, the Haas Road to Glory, if you've missed out on that one. Absolute carnage so far. We've had many different winners, including Zhou Guanyu. But yeah, not quite the same story in the My Team series. Well, when is the Ferrari reign of terror going to come to an end during this season now? I don't think we've ever seen any team win 10 races. No, surely we have. Yeah, Mercedes have definitely done that before in F1. But anyway, down round into the final couple of corners then. Zhou Guanyu this week decided to be insanely slow on the formation lap, speaking of which he's still way behind us, no idea what's going on, but trying to get as much heat as we can into the tyres. Then tricky conditions here at the start of the British Grand Prix, so we need to work the rubber as best as possible here, as hopefully we can try and get a purple lineup. There we go. Seem to really be getting the art of those down at the moment, but about to go green then. Here from Silverstone, our home race. Can we try and pick up a decent result this weekend? They're waiting on those 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go. And actually, held my own on the start there. We might actually be able to get a run down on Zhou Guanyu in towards turn 1 there. No, not quite brave enough that time round. As everyone struggling for grip around me there. Sebastian Vettel offline. And where is Seb going to go? As we head down in towards the next corner there. Do not want to try and make it 3-4 wide in through turn 3 there. Don't want to take any risks early on. And speaking of which, Daniel Ricciardo has a look up the inside as we head out of the loop then. Still side by side with the McLaren man there. We're just going to pinch him on the exit as another big snap of oversteer. Zhou Guanyu's gone backwards off the start. But we're up to P13 here. It might only be momentarily though, as Daniel Ricciardo again trying to up the inside. But you know what? We're going to fight this one out early on there as Bottas and Ricciardo's teammate Lando Norris side by side at the road there. Top 6, both Ferraris, both Mercs, and both Red Bulls going to try and break away there. As it looks like one of the Ferraris has been jumped by what I'm guessing is George Russell there. Hamilton's going to try and keep the Red Bulls at bay early on. Hopefully no side by side antics between him and Max Verstappen this weekend. As here comes Zhou Guanyu and Daniel Ricciardo there. Ricciardo tried to muscle his way to the inside in towards Maggots and Beckett's there. I think there was contact up the road. There's definitely contact up the road between Sebastian Vettel and Esteban Ocon there in the Alpine and the Aston Martin. So it's all kicking off early on here as there goes Alex Albon down around the outside of Esteban. Of course, Alex, the Thai driver, just missed out on points last weekend in Canada. And maybe if he can muscle his way up to 11th, if we get some reliability issues later on, he could be in prime position here to take Williams' first point of the year. I'm sure they'd love that at their home Grand Prix as Ocon just tries to sit in front of him through the final couple of corners there. You can just see Ocon gives him a big squeeze, and we're going to try and capitalise that at the final corner. Back down towards turn 1 to the inside of Alex Albon. Make sure we give him the room, but we're going to be very aggressive there and force him to give up the position. Up now into 12th place then at the start of this race is Bottas and Norris still going side by side up in front. I love the new frantic nature of the AI on F1 22, but by God does it make it difficult to commentate early on, especially in the rain when you're trying to keep the 1,000 horsepower engines from wheel spinning all around the circuit there, but still side by side as they head down the next straightaway. Albon's going to try and come back at me as we head down into Sector 2 there, and again, just like we did with Ricciardo, we're going to hang on there, but Bottas, I think, now has stayed ahead of Lando Norris there. They all fall back into line, and finally, I can breathe. Oh, we got Alonso running out wide that time round, and I think Sebastian Vettel has made contact with yet another Alpine as we head through Maggott and Beckett's there. These three all battling out for the points. Is Ocon going to try and make it 3 wide? Yes, he is, as they head down the back straight. And could we be in a position to capitalise here as Ocon tries to make a power move there up the inside of 6 World Championships? And Ocon, he's only gone and pulled it off there. Fantastic job done by the young Frenchman. Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso, they're going to continue this dispute through the final couple of turns. We're going to have a look up the inside of Seb, though, through the final corner there. Big amount of wheel spin. I apologise to Sebastian for giving him a big squeeze out of the final turn. But we're now up into 11th then, early on here at Silverstone, making up progress early on. I've said all weekend long I'm feeling confident, as there goes Seb back up the inside. He's going to try and move me out wide through turn 3, so clearly not a fan of the move I did on him. Sebastian Vettel not afraid to get his elbows out this weekend, but we will hang on. Now up into P11 there, 1 place out of the points. So I think already on just lap 4 of this race, realising we might have flown a bit too close to the sun here. Might be getting a nosebleed running up in P11 as Sebastian Vettel again going to try and go back up the inside there. Again, we're going to squeeze him to the apex and hang on to the position, but we're already losing a lot of time to Fernando Alonso up the road. I really want to try and hang with these guys, but I'm not convinced we're going to have the car pace here today. Going to get our elbows out though, as Sebastian Vettel suddenly drops back down the order. Zhou Guanyu and Seb now side by side into the old turn 1. I'm just going to try and hang on still. Still got to wait for the dry period to arrive, and then maybe we'll have more race pace still. You just don't know. I don't want to give up too early. It's only lap 4. Oh, here comes Kevin Magnussen up the inside in towards turn 1. Oh, we just get forced out a little bit wide there through the first corner as K-Mag concedes the position, but goes back up the inside again there as we've got yellow flags out. Someone's got issues. I think it's Verstappen. Verstappen might be out then of this Grand Prix there, as DRS now has been enabled for whatever reason. Still seems way too early for that. But Verstappen out of the British Grand Prix, and that means, albeit just for a moment, we might be in the points here as Kevin Magnussen up the inside. We're in the points there for all of about a second as K-Mag tries to force me out wide down the end of the Wellington Straight there. But now, this battle means more than anything early on here in Silverstone. Is it worth pitting at the end of this lap onto a set of dry tyres? I'm not convinced it's dry enough just yet. There goes K-Mag. Oh, apologies. That was definitely my fault that time round. Side by side into the old turn 1 with Kevin Magnussen there. We just about keep it clean and tidy that time through, as we're still going to be side by side as we head up in towards Maggott and Beckett. Neither of us willing to back out. In the end, K-Mag given no other choice. Oh, he tries it. No, that was Sebastian Vettel. Where are these AI coming from in this Grand Prix? Seb and K-Mag both somehow trying to make a move happen, as no one in front willing to pit, so I don't think we will either. Oh, I'm not convinced yet, Mark, but I suppose your word is probably better than mine. On F1 22, no idea what dry tyres we want to go on to. I'm tempted, honestly, to use a set of softs and then go mediums to the checkered flag here. Silverstone not normally too bad for tyre wear, but luckily none of the other cars in this huge train have pitted, so I don't think we'll get undercut just yet then in this Grand Prix. Got to use the energy though as we head down the back straight there, as here comes Sebastian Vettel once more. Oh, again, the AI really want to try and force me wide there down at the end of the Wellington Straight, but once again I'll squeeze him to the curb and we'll hang on to the position. Just going to box confirm with the team. We're going to be going on to a set of softs. What's the team saying? Exactly the same. That's good. We're on the same page. So there we go. Most of the front runners into the pit lane then. Looks like just Carlos Sainz is going to try and stay out for one more lap here. I guess he's hoping you maybe just see a final little downpour of rain, but pretty much like I said, everyone else into the pits. It's just Sainz and Alonso, the two Spaniards, opting to stay out here, but oh, got to get the car slowed down really carefully. Oh, we got away with it. It said 37 miles an hour there. We had a clip like that just to like very, very similarly on F1 2021, where it said I was red on the pit lane, but we got away with it, and I think we've just done the same as well on F1 22, as there we go, team wanted us in at the end of this lap, but we need to try and get a nice tidy pit lane entry here. Into the pit box we go. There we go, purple score. Just click the ankles of the Haas crew. Come on, tidy stop, tidy stop, tidy stop. It's not tidy, it's not tidy.
There seems to have been a problem removing the right rear wheel.
Go, no!
Behind us though, and let's finish this race strong.
I mean, we've screwed Kevin Magnussen as well there, but that is heartbreaking. We've lost so many places through the pit lane as the team just couldn't get the rear wheel on.
You only have to stop once now, one stop left.
But I guess what is reassuring is the fact we've still followed the same strategy as everyone else, but now 2 seconds behind Pierre Gasly. The AI tend to be able to fire up their tyres a bit better than me, As how have we got an achievement for well drilled? There's no way that pit stop was well drilled. There we go, very interestingly, Sebastian Vettel seems to have gone on to hard tyres then, so I reckon he's trying to make it through to the checkered flag in this race, but of course he's really going to struggle in these slick conditions there, as he's been jumped by everyone in this little gaggle of cars there. Hopefully we're going to do the same quite soon. I'm trying not to lose sight of Pierre Gasly there, as last few cars into the pits should be able to gain some places. As well, we haven't even got the undercut on all the other cars that box there. Lance Stroll's going to come out ahead of Sebastian Vettel, so Aston Martin putting all their eggs in the hard tyre basket. But fingers crossed we might be able to try and get a run out of here there, as all Seb thought about it on his teammate Lance Stroll. Why have we not got DRS there? On the exit of the corner, everyone around me has got the DRS, but we can't for whatever reason. As Sebastian Vettel, we're going to try and look around the outside of one Aston Martin, maybe two in one corner. As Stroll's still on the cold rubber there, he's going to be easy pickings. And that is a double overtake around the outside of both Astons there. And that, I absolutely love to see. Cheeky move, but we've nailed it. Up into P15 once more. So there we go. We've got another couple of cars into the pit lane then. No idea what's going on. The Tiffy must have picked up some damage somewhere to be back into the pits as soon as he once was. So someone else as well, and is that Lando Norris? Yes, it is. So we're now back up into P13 then of this race. A good 2 odd seconds behind, though, the points. But, you know, we just got to keep our head down and try and close back up. And also, we've got to try and break away from Stroll and the Aston Martin. I don't want him getting DRS all day long. Lap 10 now, Pierre Gasly and Zhou Guanyu battling their way out down onto the Wellington Straight. Stroll's still keeping touch with me, but certainly not hassling me. As I don't really... I mean, I'm happy to watch these two cars battle, because it'll hopefully bring me closer to the points, but they are dropping back from the gaggle of cars in front of them as Gasly concedes position for now. We've got to try and get within the 1 second zone. Problem is, at Silverstone, there's a lot of places, sorry, to use the battery, but very few to save it back up again. It's through the old turn 1, bit of a correction. We just hang on in there. I'm just looking at this train of cars in front of us. We've got Alex Albon currently up in P9 there, so very, very happy for Williams, but of course a bit disappointed as well, because if he was to finish like this, of course, they jump us in the Constructors' Championship. But all 4 of these cars in front of me all seem to just be slowly closing back in on each other, as we've got Mick Schumacher, Zhou Guanyu and Pierre Gasly just in front of me. I think every car is slightly quicker than the one in front. I don't want to pit this lap though. I want to try and hang out one more. Maybe try and get an overcut on a couple of these guys. Oh, there we go. That's a Red Bull heading out of the pit lane there. Mick Schumacher's forced offline. And that's going to allow Zhou Guanyu a whole lot closer, but also give Alex Albon a bit more breathing space. It's so difficult to work out what's good and what's bad at this early stage of the season still. But I know I don't want Albon finishing 9th. Schumacher has now conceded the position to Zhou Guanyu as we really try and attack the curbs out onto the back straight though, but surely Mick's going to come straight back at him as we head down the hangar straight here. Albon's still got a couple of seconds of breathing room. There is one of the Mercs into the pits, but you can see just how hard we're pushing at the moment, trying to close up the gap. Are any of these guys going to pit? Pierre and Zhou both dive into the pit lane here, so we're going to have to try and work with Mick Schumacher then on this lap. No, he's on hards, so Mick Schumacher's going to the end of this Grand Prix on that set of tyres there. Albon as well into the pit lane, so that's the other thing I completely forgot about. You know, the likes of Mick Schumacher, the likes of those Aston Martins, where are they still going to finish and be on pace towards the end of this Grand Prix? Are we going to be able to make up a whole pit stop on them? I'm not convinced, but we'll have to wait and see here. Still 13 laps to go from Silverstone. We've just now crossed over the halfway stage. Oh, big snap of oversteer. Come on, keep pushing. Pretty much going to drain the entire battery, though, as we head down in towards the final couple of corners of lap 14. This time, we need a good pit stop from the team. We absolutely can't let them mess this up as we head into the pits there again. Absolutely nail the pit entry speed there, as are we going to see that Drogovic into the pit lane as well, just behind us, as both Aston Martin's going to go through. Drogovic has boxed. He's far enough behind, though, that I'm hoping it won't cost us too much, as Lando Norris into the pit lane as well. But there goes Vettel and Stroll, so Sebastian Vettel now the man in the points. Are we going to be able to nail this again? There we go, another purple one. Please, this time round, can the team nail this pit stop? 2.3, yes! That's what we needed there, as Drogovic is going to be into the box pretty much immediately afterwards. But here comes Albon as we head back down towards turn 1 here. Are we going to be close enough to the Williams? Oh, no, we are not. Really careful on pit exit there, as there goes Zhou Guanyu. And there is Pierre Gasly, so we're basically back to where we were then. Definitely going to have the DRS on Pierre, though, as we head back through this first sector. But we are a long, long way back behind those Aston Martins. This might just be getting away from us. And after such strong pace, are we really only going to be able to walk away with P16 still? I'm convinced it's going to be P16. Here as there goes Kevin Magnussen down the back straight. We'll tuck back into the slipstream of the Haas. But P17 now, surely, with the race pace we've had so far today, we can't just walk away with a 17th place finish here. This would be heartbreaking here at Silverstone. I felt so strong all weekend. Strategy might be getting away from us, but fingers crossed the pace isn't there. As look at how much power K-Mag's able to put down out through the final corner. We're not even going to be within the DRS range, I don't think, unless we nailed turn 1 there. Took a lot of curb on the way in, but it's going to be mighty close there with Kevin Magnussen. No, we're not even inside the DRS range, and I tried to outbrake myself slightly to make sure we were. It's all going away from us. No, we are still in DRS. Don't think it's going to make much difference, though, to be honest, at the moment. Can't help but feel this race is unravelling really, really late on, and that is heartbreaking. Here we go, Gasly on K-Mag just up the road there, but at the moment, can't help but feel, yeah, this race has just completely come undone there. We had such strong pace, and I mean, we're going to look back at it at the end of the year, and it's probably just going to say P17. It's heartbreaking, truly, truly heartbreaking still early on, but we are fighting so hard every week, trying to get everything we possibly can out of this car, and we're just not quite getting the results I feel like we deserve at the moment. Every week we're trying to drive the wheels off this thing. And I mean, P17 will be better than a lot of results in recent races, but it certainly won't be a diamond in the rough. 8 laps to go here from Silverstone. I think we've just got to bring the car home, as definitely don't want to do anything stupid like that. Well, 3 laps to go then here at Silverstone, and we've just been quietly plugging away the laps at the moment, as Kevin Magnussen and Zhou Guanyu are just steadily tripping each other up and bringing myself and Pierre Gasly back towards this battle here. Could we still... I mean, a P14 would look far better than a P17 at the end of this GP, but we've still got to try and get back within the range of those 3 cars here. If we could just try and beat a couple of these guys on raw pace, I think, yeah, we'd walk away a little bit happier. Well, it looks like Kevin Magnussen is just about checked out of this little battle, but just a lap and a half to go here from Silverstone. I mean, it hasn't been the best race for any of the British drivers there. I think Hamilton and Russell still sat in P3 and P4. But Lando Norris and I way down the order. Can we give them just one last thing to cheer about this weekend? With maybe a last lap daring overtake on either Pierre Gasly, the Frenchman, or Zhou Guanyu, the young Chinese driver. Gaining, gaining, gaining as we head down the hangar straight. But really, we need Pierre to try and have a look on Zhou. And then we can try and make something happen there. As through on towards the final lap we go. I think it's Charles Leclerc who's about to rack up yet another race victory here in the Ferrari dominance. Doesn't seem to be coming to an end anytime soon on F1 22 there, but we've just got 3.6 miles to go here at Silverstone. Can I just try and get something a little bit more to write home about at the end of this Grand Prix there? Attack the curves through turn 1 and turn 2. Charles Leclerc, fastest lap at the end. He's going to come through for yet another race victory here in F1 22. A fantastic race from the Monegasque driver. As now we've got Zhou Guanyu and Pierre Gasly still right in front of me there. We can just see Zhou Guanyu trying to put the power down out onto the back straight there. Pierre Gasly thinks about having a look up the inside, but the Zhou Guanyu tells him absolutely not this time round, matey boy. As we head back through the middle sector of this final lap there. Rear tyres really starting to give up here. Lando Norris is slowly closing in the gap as well, but like I said, we need Pierre to really try and go for a move here, and then hope that we can do something to try and get closer to the pair of them. As through the old turn 1, rattle the car over the curbs. As really now it is all or nothing on this final lap. They attack the curbs through Maggott and Beckett's one final time we go. Are we going to be able to get a run out onto the back straight there? Is Pierre Gasly going to be able to do the same? We may as well drain the battery now. We're still a long way back at the moment, but Gasly goes one way and then looks the other there. As up the inside he goes in towards the final few corners of this Grand Prix there. There is contact between Zhou Guanyu and Pierre Gasly here. Final couple of corners of the Grand Prix. Are we going to be able to get the nose in there? Up the inside we look. Pierre Gasly hangs on. He'll make the move, but we just haven't quite got enough.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. a great win. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari. Let's have a quick look at how the drivers' standings have changed. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Mick Schumacher gets my vote today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One, so be sure to join us for the next one.
Well, there we are then, guys, the end of the British Grand Prix here, and couldn't quite bring home a big result for the hometown, but there we go. That's the way Formula One goes sometimes. Charles Leclerc takes home the race victory ahead of Carlos Sainz and George Russell, ahead of his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Of course, that was the big question in real life this weekend, who would come out on top between the two Mercs. Of course, you guys already know that. Sadly, I don't. But anyway, Fernando Alonso in P5 ahead of Perez and Ocon there. Mick Schumacher, Bottas and Vettel rounding out the top 10. So yeah, Latifi, the real question was 2-stop or 3-stop later on in the afternoon. It was definitely, sorry, 2-stop or 1-stop even, I should say. And the answer was definitely 1-stop there. Just Max Verstappen not making it to the checkered flag, and that means the gap for Red Bull at the top opens up even further there. Ferrari continue to build up that lead. But yeah, what was that? 1 second separating Gasly, Zhou Guanyu, myself and Lando Norris at the checkered flag there. Championship-wise, though, Ocon jumps Bottas, Alonso jumps Mick Schumacher and Lando Norris with that good result. Charles Leclerc, the gap at the top now up to 38 points there, as he's got nearly 100 points over anyone that isn't his teammate at this stage of the campaign. Constructors-wise, though, Alfa Romeo re-jump McLaren in their very hotly contested battle for P6er. And yeah, Red Bull now on 212 points. They're 188 behind Ferrari there, as Mercedes continue to make gains on the Milton Keynes based squad there. Haas jump Alpine as well, just 1 point between them. It is all still to play for, though, early on in the campaign. Thank you all so much for watching this video, though. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like. Get yourself subscribed as well. And we will return very, very soon for round 11 of the year. We reach the halfway stage of the campaign. We'll be in Austria, ready for yet another sprint weekend. You guys do not want to miss that. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.